Hi, it's Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot with this week's video on tarot tips and tricks, and today I'll be discussing the actual directions of the cards. So I don't think there's been enough discussion when it comes to this particular topic. A lot of people are focused on the positions, so when you do a tarot spread, the positions, but not really discussing on how they all marry up and how they interact with one another. So today I'm actually going to be sharing a spread which is just known as a 9-card spread that we use a lot in Lenormand. So depending on when I do go back and do the video editing, I'm hoping I can have these particular card images up side by side. So we're going to have a look at the Tarot of the Light Seers. So back when I first learnt the Lenormand with Titania's fortune cards, this is how I actually worked out the directions. So as you can see, it's got a big fat yellow 1. So this particular card stood as a card that represents yourself or a client if you're doing an actual reading. And then you just read it across. So 1, 2, 3. So the blue arrows show the directions on how you read it. Then the pink arrows show that you read them going down. And then the black ones that are crossed is how you read them diagonally. So that's how I read the Lenormand for many, many years. And then the actual Lenormand spread, as you can see below, or I'm hoping I can do it side by side or half and half. I'll see how it goes. You notice that the numbers go 6, 2, 7, 4, 1, 5, and 8, 3, 9. And in this particular instance, the focus card is the card number 1, which is the moon. And as you can see, it's the central card in this one. So it's completely different to how I learned how to read Lenormand all these years ago. Instead, card 1 was the focus card. So here it's card 1. So how it works is 6, 4, and 8 is the past. 2, 1, and 3 is the present. And the future, or the outcome, is 7, 5, and 9. And as you can see on the card 9, I've got written the answer. And to then the energy and the influences are cards 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you can see it's the square. So when you look at it, having the central card as number 1 as the focus card, or the focus card, or if you like to pull a card to represent yourself or your question, that's the card that you focus on. Then it's got 6, 2, 7 is actually what's on your mind. Card 4, 1, 5 is what you are currently dealing with. And cards 8, 3, and 9 stand for the lessons that are learnt, or what is actually under control. And the indirect influences again are the 6, that is 6, 1, and 9. So you're still doing a cross, and then yeah, that's right, 6, 1 and 9, and then 8, 9, and 7. So you still have got that cross, and then the answer is 7. But it's also got as a confirmation card as 4, 2, 5, and 3, which is kind of interesting, but it really works really well. So this particular spread I learned from Alexandre Musruck in his book, oh gosh, I've forgotten the book of the name now, Learning Lenormand or something like that. I'll put a link down anyway, down below in the description box. So when you're wanting to use this in a tarot spread, so it's terrific in the Lenormand, but it's even better when you actually use it for tarot as well. So if we were going to use just the normal ways, having number 1 as the focus and reading straight across, it's good, but I wanted to point out a few different ways as well. So if we're looking at card number 3, and it's a little bit hard to see because I put the black cross underneath it, but right there is a white type of a bird. So I think it's a hawk by the looks of it. And then if you're looking at the 9 of Swords, there's another white raven. So you don't know if that's like supposed to represent a ghost or something that hasn't materialized yet. And then if you look at the Page of Cups, it's actually got a pig that's flying. So it's kind of interesting. And then I want you to actually just look at the cards. So we've got 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and the Page of Cups as well. So you're reading the direction of it, but also what I want you to do is so if you're just reading it as that, so the 9 of Pentacles, and so you might think that there might be some type of a loss because the 9 of Swords, she's clearly unhappy, but it contradicts the 9 of Pentacles, doesn't it? as a Nine of Pentacles usually stands for when, success, you're happy in your wealth, you're happy with what you've got in life. But then the Nine of Swords is more of despair and being overwhelmed. And then we've got the Page of Cups below. And it's kind of interesting because when I took the photo, there's a clear shadow. And this is other things I want you to look at too. When you're looking at a spread, and the only reason there's a shadow, excuse me, is because of the lighting in my room at the moment when I took the photo. But if you're looking at this half is where the guy is there, you can just sort of see he's in the darkness, but the tip of his hair is pointed up towards the light, and it's actually pointed up to the pigs. And we all heard that that saying of when pigs will fly. So if you're looking just at the symbols and not just only the cards as well, so what's this telling you? So to me, it's telling me that if you're looking at it as Alexandre says, what's weighing heavily on you, if this is weighing, so you might have so many financial obligations that you really don't know what to do. And to be really out there, you might have a lot of money as well. So you might have come from an inheritance and got quite a bit of money from this inheritance. And while you're happy for it, you're very, very sad because somebody has passed away. And then in this instance, that raven that is ghost-like can represent the spirit of the person who has passed away. This causes the despair. Then when you're looking at the Page of Cups and it's pointing when pigs will fly, well, you probably never thought that you would have this amount of money. And let's face it, nobody, while an inheritance is, appreciated, nobody wants to lose the person who actually died and passed away to be able to get this money. So the Page of Cups is showing that it came out of an act of love for the person who has received the money. The pigs will fly is just that. It's just wondering what to do. You probably said it a lot to yourself. Well, actually, it could have been. This is another thing too, because you all know I do spirit messages. This could have been a saying that the person who passed away said a lot. When pigs will fly, when pigs will fly. So, and that's coming from a place of love. And if you look at the hair on this guy's head, it's pointing right to that particular symbol as well. So this inheritance that you got, while you're very upset that you lost this person, this pigs will fly is showing that it's come from a place of love. The pigs will fly is your confirmation that that it is actually from the person, which of course we're going to know it is from the person, but sometimes you just might get, maybe you got some that money in the bank, you're not really sure where it come from, and you're looking at this particular spread thinking, pigs will fly, that's who my great aunt always used to say that, and then later on you found out that she's passed away and that she's left you a great deal of money. So that's what I'm talking about. Directions as well. These are directly underneath each other. You can't really, unfortunately, but anyone who's got the Light Seers Tarot, you can see that there is a white hawk-like creature there, and I actually might, I should grab that out, but it's right behind me on the on my bookcase behind there. I might just grab that. Hold on a sec. So there you go. So you can see how it's in the, just there in the corner. So they all marry. They all are underneath each other. That's the first one. So it's actually, when you look at it, it just looks to have landed on the pentacle, and that could also say it's just this money has just landed in your bank and you're wondering where it come from, and then you discover that that your whoever it was has passed away and left you this money. So sometimes things like that happen with all the red tape that's been happening due to the virus and things like that. But this is just as an example, just to get you to think outside the square when it comes to reading the tarot. So now let's have a look at the middle row. So at the middle row, you can see we have got death, and we have got strength, and then we've also got the Three of Pentacles. So what marries up when you have a look at these ones? I'm just going to go and get rid of the ones that I've just discussed so I don't grab them by mistake. Okay, so let's have a look at what marries up in this one. Now, as you can see, there's death, isn't it? So we've got death and we've got rebirth. What really stands out to me is the actual, this bit here, the star in the face, in the hood of the actual cloak. Then what it seems to be pointing to it points to the heart. Okay, so you've got the love heart there, and then you've also got the lamb, which I'll touch on in a minute. And then it goes straight down. What it's pointing towards, to me, the heart is actually pointing to the string of wool that is running through to the of the Three of Pentacles. So as that's all pointing, so of course, you know, someone, when you're thinking about passing away and stepping through a porthole, this is what the actual death card, you know, what that looks like, doesn't it? It looks like you're stepping through a porthole. You're going towards the light, literally. And then, of course, with the strength card, you know, it's got the lamb as well. And for people who are left behind, it is all very new and very, very scary. And you're going to have to rely on your inner strength, that strength inside you. You're going to have to become like a lion to protect yourself from the pain. And then the string is how it all connects together. It's come from someone who was high up in the family. So if this is a great aunt, you know, someone you may, you know, is distant, but you're all connected through that string. You're all connected through family. So that's another sort of confirmation, I suppose. So you're looking at, you know, death, strength, and the Three of Pentacles. I'm just trying to marry up the symbols here for you so you get more understanding of an actual reading when you do it this way. And then, of course, number one, which is the focus card, which is the Three of Swords. And the thing that strikes me the most here is the bare twigs. Okay, so the bare twigs is what's, you know, where it's just that rawness of it all, you know, the raw type of pain. So we're just taking it as looking at this square that says somebody's passed away. So that raw pain. And then you've got the looking at what joins up together. The did I pick up the right one? No, I picked up the wrong one, sorry. Is the twigs right pointing towards the actual wand. So it's actually pointing to the wand that's on fire. And take note now that there is a lion that is actually standing behind this guy. So this is I often, when I look at this particular card, think of that somebody's in spirit that is protecting you. So there's somebody on the other side that's protecting you. And then it kind of matches up to the skull on the wall, doesn't it, as well? So that there again, that kind of reflects the death as well. So, and then if you're looking at going across, so then again the twigs, the heart and the heart marries up together, as well does the top of the head as well. And then if you're looking on the other side, it's the bird with the lamb that goes down to the actual, to the actual world. So maybe this lady was living on another part of the world as well. So that's how you can look for symbols and connect them up to have deeper meaning. Now, if this isn't a, I'm just trying to think of what else. So say this doesn't represent a death, but no, I'm going to have to keep it as that because it's a little bit hard. But I just really wanted to show you how the symbols can all marry up to one another, to look at the directions. I mean, even when you're looking at the actual Nine of Pentacles, she's focused on that actual bird that's landed on the Pentacles. So she's focused on the money and where it's come from, kind of out of the blue sort of thing. If you're looking at the, the page, the Knight of, what is it? Yeah, King of Wands. He's looking straight at you, but the line is at the back. So there's somebody who's got your back, someone who's looking over you in spirit, because we're just going to take it as someone had passed away. And then if you're looking at the Emperor here, I've lost my track of thought now. It's gone. But anyway, all right, I'll leave it because I've lost my track of thought. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to have a. Oh, that's right. So this Emperor is looking towards the to the right. I mean, when you're looking at it that way, so he's looking towards the right. So you've got, the Three of Swords. She's looking up. We've got one that is looking straight at you, and then we've got one that's looking towards the right as well. So when you're looking at what he's actually looking at, so he will be looking at the Three of Pentacles. So that's what he's actually looking at. He's looking towards the Three of Pentacles. So we're just going to go off the sort of the death subject now. So the Three of Pentacles, he's looking towards his maybe creativity. He's looking to family ties, because I'm very pulled to way how this looks. This could relate to past life issues as well. So he's looking to his creativity, and the chess piece is the move that he's gonna make. Because don't forget, you're reading this across now. And then, you know, we've got the final card with the page. Is quite young, but he's got the spark of creation. He might be thinking of something that he wanted to do creatively in his youth, but he hasn't done it yet. But now he's more in control of his emotions, and he's just got to make the right move. Okay. So then, if you're looking at just the King of Wands and Strength and the Nine of Swords. Really, to me, that just speaks of somebody in spirit that's got your back, and they're watching over you, regardless that you can feel it right now, because you're too focused on the lamb issue, on being a lamb, on vulnerable, and it's all the newness of it all type of thing, before you find your inner strength and be able to cope with it. And then if you're looking at the Three of Swords and Death and the Nine of Pentacles, of course, the Three of Swords to me doesn't really represent pain and loss. To me, it's the Five of Cups. But I look at the Three of Swords as a new direction that's not yet known in life. And this causes the angst, the nervousness, the worry type of thing. Not so much pain, just the fear of the unknown, I would say. And of course, looking at the death, I mean, we all know that's a rebirth and big changes are coming, but followed by the Nine of Pentacles, at the end of it all, the change that's coming will be beneficial to you, but you just can't see that as yet. Okay. So now, if we're going to go down to the Lenormand's cards, of which I've used Titania's Fortune cards there. So the focus card here is the Moon. So Moon is all about opportunities. It can be about emotions. It can be a healing type of a card too, as well, in the Lenormand. And so that's the focus. So it's an emotional type of focus. So that's right in the middle. All right. And then we've got a 6, 4, and 8 as the past. So we've got the Scythe, we've got the Rider, and the news. In the letters. So obviously there's some news that has come that has come from the past, has been quite changing. It's changed you a fair bit. And then if you're looking at 2, 1, and 3 is the present, it looks like to be some lucky news, because the Clover is about luck, and you've got the Fish as well. So it's probably representative of some type of business. Okay, so maybe a job opportunity or a bonus as well that can stand for. And then the future, you've got the Fox and the Garden and the Ring. The Garden and the Ring together can often represent a contract. It can represent a job offer, but you've got the Fox there. So it could be that someone's being a little bit sneaky concerning this job offer, or some type of offer they're going to give you. So you need to read the fine print. All right. And then if you're looking at the what you're currently dealing with, you've got the Scythe, you've got the Clover, and you've got the Fox. So that's telling you that this luck or this type of news or whatever it is that's happened is very quick and sharp and short-lived, and you need to jump on it straight away. But you've got to be cunning like the Fox. You've got to think about it. You've got to check all the I's and T's. The I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, read all the fine print. Then you've got 4, 1, and 5 is what you're currently dealing with. So 6, 2, and 7, what's weighing on you, what's most on your mind. And then 4, 1, and 5 is what you're currently dealing with. So of course you're dealing with the this offer, and because the garden's there, the garden stands for social situations too. So perhaps this offer or this type of luck that's coming your way means that you need to deal with the public in some way, and even with your current place of work or something like that, or your family or whatever it is, and you're not too sure how to go about it. And then number 3 is what's under control. So what's under control is that you've received the contract in the mail, you've received the offer, from the Fish, and the ring is the actual contract itself and how it's going to work. So this is you've got that under control, but you're still thinking about it. If you look at it in steps 1, 2, 3, and then if you're looking at the future outcome, which is I've always got to think about it because I haven't read this way for very long, but I really do like reading this particular way. So now you've got the indirect influences, which are the 6, 1, and 9. So it's got the scythe, you've got the moon, and you've got the ring. Now the scythe and the ring together can often represent divorce, but it could also mean that you decide not to go ahead with this contract. It has to be cut up and you want it reworded to suit you better. Okay, and then you're looking at the fox, the moon, and the letters as well. So this could, because this is indirect, this could actually be what you got in the first place, the original contract that's got that bit of slyness to you, and you've got to nut it out. Okay, and then you've got the indirect, which you start from 6, the scythe, 7, which is the fox, 9 is the ring, and 8 is the actual letters. So that's the indirect influences. So that's kind of what's surrounding you, which is the moon. This is you, okay? That's, or the client, whoever it is that's having the reading. So they're the indirect influences. So you've got the scythe, you've got the fox. Scythe can also stand for sharp words spoken. It can stand for surgery as well. You've got the, so maybe this job has come up because somebody was sick and they needed some surgery. But the fox can stand for that they've always intended to come back to their job, but this company is offering it to you, and then when they get well enough, they'll get rid of you. Now, this happened to me once. I got a job, and it was a maternity leave position, but they never told me that. So that's the fox, okay? And then you've got 8 as of course, this is always, it's about news, and the ring, which I still think would be about the actual contract itself, or some type of legal type of a document, okay? And then you've got answer 9. So the answer is the actual ring. So personally, I would think you're going to have to run rings around for a bit until you nut it all out, until you actually get it all under control. And then you've also got confirmation cards, which is 4, which is the rider, 2, which is the clover, and 5, which is the garden, and 3, which is the fish. So you're looking at that. So you've got the rider, the clover, the garden, and fish. So it looks like that there is a definite type of business type of offer or a job that you'll be lucky to get. But you're going to need to nut it out. You're going to really have to check that contract. Make sure that this person whose job you'll be taking is not going to come back. It's written in the contract. And because the horse, and I'm going to talk about direction, is actually, if you look at it, its backside is to the moon, which represents you. So this actually tells me that you might decide to run away from this offer. You might look elsewhere. If you can't nut it out with this particular situation, you're going to move forward and you're going to look elsewhere. But good things are still coming, because overall it's not a bad sort of type of a spread. So when you're looking at directions as well, look at the fish. It's looking at the answer card. It's looking right at 9. So it's telling you've really got to pay attention to the detail of this particular contract. So the fox is actually is looking more or less behind them, so that can say that this offer is going to come out of the blue. It's often very important to see where the scythe is pointing. So this one is actually pointing towards the left. And so again, if you're looking at the horse directly underneath it, it might seem that you might actually stay with the current job you've got, or the current situation you're in. You're not really interested in this particular position. It's not going to benefit you in the long run. The clover, if you look at it, is actually pointing at the fox. So this luck is pointing at the fox, is saying that the whoever the fox card represents, they've got the luck on their side. You know what I mean? That's the luck is more on their side than what is on there. The moon, you can't really, it's got the darker, if you look at it very carefully, the dark grey, I don't know how good this is going to come up on video, is actually pointing towards the darker part of the garden, to where the bushes are, where it's dark underneath there. So there's something hidden about this offer. There is something hidden, and you need to look at it. You need to look at it really, really well. And even the letters, the end of the stamps are pointed to the tail end of the fish, which could mean that this offer or whatever is a load of crap, literally, because look where it's pointing to, people. So this is what I mean about directions. It's really, really important to look where things are coming from. Where, is it coming from the past? If it's coming from the present, the future. Look at every single detail in the card, and I'm guaranteed you'll get a lot more out of your actual reading. So if we were going to do this with the tarot cards, the light seers cards, and we're going to do it. So instead, the focus card, instead of being 1, the focus card is the middle card, which is strength. So this highlights that you're going to need to be strong about a particular issue. The present is, the past is 6, 4, and 8. So then it'll be the 3 of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Emperor. So obviously it'd be some type of it could be some type of male figure that is causing this worry about a direction that you need to go in, sort of thing. It's something's happened in the past concerning probably 2 males. This could be 2 ex-partners, this could be family, could be anybody. And then if you're looking at the present, 2, 1, and 3, we've got Death, Strength, and the 3 of Pentacles. So you're going to have to be very strong about some type of change that is coming, possibly to do with your creativity, money, family. So I'm not looking at all the things that are joining up now. And then you're looking at the future. You've got 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and you've got the Page of Cups. So that's telling you that I'm still, really attracted to the 9 of Swords. There's going to be some angst with some type of security or luck that you're going to get. So what's weighing heavily on your mind, you've got the 3 of Swords, Death, and the 9 of Pentacles. So it's definitely some type of monetary issue that's worrying you. That's weighing heavily on your mind, because these are quite heavy cards. If you're looking at this Death, that's right above your card there, which is the Strength card. So this change is really weighing heavily on you. So always look directly on top of the card and underneath the card of what's affecting you as well. And what you're currently dealing with, well, here, clearly you're dealing with one male type of figure, and it's really trying your strength. He's really playing with your emotions. Okay, let's put it that way. And the lessons learned are, the Emperor, we all know, can represent a man that likes to be under control. They like to make the first move. They don't like surprises, that type of thing. And you've got the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Cups here. And so you've learned in the past that type of man is not for you. You prefer someone who is a creative, as shown by the 3 of Pentacles, and you prefer somebody who's in touch with their emotions, as shown by the Page of Cups. And then if you are looking at indirect influences, you've got the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups. So you have really learnt from past, and I'm going to say past paths that have caused you heartache, as the 3 of Swords in this case will represent. You know what makes you happy, the 9 of Pentacles, and that just might be being on your own, being single. You know that the Emperor is not for you, and you want someone who's in touch with their emotions, as the Page of Cups implies. Okay, and then you're going to look at the indirect. So the indirect influence, you've got the Heart, you've got 3 of Swords, Strength, and the Page of Cups. So you definitely know that whatever path that you followed before that's represented by the 3 of Swords is not for you. And then you've got the 9 of Pentacles, Strength, and the Emperor. So, you are quite strong on your own, even though you might think you need a strong type man in your life. You probably don't. The Strength and the 9 of Pentacles show that you are quite happy to be on your own, and you don't really want to be like that lamb again and be vulnerable like that other person made you feel. Okay. Then let's look at the confirmation for this. So that'll be the King of Wands, and that'll be Death, and it will be the 9 of Swords, And then we've got the Three of Pentacles. So the King of Wands, Death, Nine of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. This is your answer. So if you were interested in a particular, say this is, now we're looking at, say this is a love type of reading. If you're interested in this King of Wands, it seems to me that Death will indicate that he needs to change a fair bit, because the Nine of Swords is telling me that he's already given you some heartache. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles. And now just say you are a single mum who's got 3 kids or a couple of kids, and this is telling me that maybe this guy doesn't like children, okay, and he wants you all to himself, and he's not too interested with being with his kids. So as that being as a confirmation, it's a confirmation that's telling you that you may have to, because if you look at the Nine of Swords, her back is turned towards this King of Wands. You may, even though it's going to cause you heartache, you may have to turn your back on this guy and be happy being alone, because the Three of Pentacles clearly shows, and this could be for like you fathers out there, you know, you might meet a woman who doesn't like children, because in this particular Three of Pentacles, it's actually got a man and 2 women, even though it looks like a woman and a mother and her young child. But, you know, that can be age differences between there's 10 years between my brother and I, so it could be a big age difference between your kids. So that's telling you that this person is not going to be a good fit into your family. And then the answer it will be number 9, which is the Page of Cups. What is your heart telling you? You've got to follow your heart in this, even though, as the Nine of Swords implies, it could give you some type of heartache. You're going to have to be strong. Now, don't forget that strength is your card in this. This is you, okay? You are strength at this particular moment. So you will have the strength to deal with everything that is going on. Okay, so I think I've said everything I have to say, but I wanted to share this box spread with you because I think it's absolutely bloody fantastic, and I use it a lot in my tarot readings, and I've only just started to and I've just started to use it with Lenormand as well, because I was so used to reading in the directions of the arrows that are in the Light Seers tarot at the moment. But really, the second one that Alexandre Musruck explained in his book, to me, is absolutely perfect way of reading the Lenormand cards. So you can see that you can get a lot of information out of 9 cards. And doing it this way too, you're not stuck with the position, like say you've got the middle card as your focus and whatever, but you're not stuck on, say, this is the past and this is the future and this what may happen and these are your strengths, or the recent part, any position meaning that you can think of. You're not stuck with it. It's much more free flowing, and that's when you read the tarot and when you read the Lenormand. That's how it has to be. It should be, I should say. It should be free flowing. You shouldn't have in the back of your mind, oh, but hang on, this card is, represents the future. You don't have to think like that. I mean, they have got their position meanings, but it just flows so much more better. It's just a really good spread. So for those of you who haven't tried it with tarot, I really encourage you to try it. And those of you who are new to Lenormand, try doing it this way, because even though you read them together, but you read them individually as well. And then, of course, don't forget to marry up where the directions are. Where are they pointing to, Because even if you're looking at the fox go to the ring, to the garden, to the ring, where's his, how shall I be polite? Where's his little butthole pointing to? It's actually like, it's almost like somebody's crapping on this child, that this offer. There's a little bit of... there's a little bit of poo-poos attached to it, and you're going to have to sort through that mud to see where it's going from. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope I haven't confused everybody. And I will actually put the box spread underneath in the descriptions, and I'll put down a link to Alexandre Musruck's book. He's actually got a YouTube channel as well, very easy to understand. So English isn't his first language, so but I think he's got a lovely accent. And you can learn a lot from him as well. So until next time, please press like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all in my next video.